Hello and welcome to the tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play Bee Swarm Simulator and get from the beginner stage to the middle stage. So the middle stage is technically just the middle part of the progression, if you don't know what that means. So when you first load in, this tutorial will come up on your screen. You don't have to read this if you don't want to. I'm going to explain it anyway, but it's just there if you want to know all the extra details and stuff. So when you load in, you will have to walk up to one of these little hives here. So you just follow the red line, then you press E on your keyboard, or you just tap the blue. Then in the top left, you click the egg icon, you pick up this basic egg, and you put it in your hive. The next thing you want to do is walk up to this black bear over here. So this is Black Bear. He is one of the quest giver NPCs. He will give you quests, and then he will give you rewards for completing them. So your quests are located in the top left corner of the screen, right next to the egg menu. And when we open it, it comes out like that, telling you what your quest is. So there are 4 fields in the starter area. I'll put the pictures of them up on the screen. First we've got the sunflower field, then the mushroom field, then the blue flower field, and then finally the clover field. And we get 200 honey for completing this quest. At one point, your backpack will be full. So once your backpack is full, you gotta walk back to your hive, and you gotta press the blue box, or E, or whatever you do for whatever thing, to convert your pollen into honey. So all you gotta do is watch your little bee, collect it from your bag, and he'll do a little spin, and he'll give you honey. For this step, you don't have to do this. This is just for if you wanted to get extra rewards. If you join the Bee Swarm group, you'll be gain access to these little spencers around the map that will give you rewards. And I'll show you right now. Another thing in the game is codes, and when you enter codes, you will get rewards, boosts, and other items. You gotta be careful on which codes you use though, because sometimes they give you powerful boosts like this, and you don't want to use them at the start of the game, because they are not that good. Like, I've only got 1B, and it's giving me a boost for the top field in the game. Now I'm going to show you a compilation of all the codes you should use at the start of the game. Please pause the video if you need to. And that is the last code. So once you've done that, what you want to do is walk over to the egg dispenser. This is where you can buy basic eggs, and with the honey you got from the code, I would buy like around 3 and then leave the rest for new equipment. And sometimes when you open basic eggs, they give you a random rare bee as well, like how I got that rad bee, but most of the time it's just basic bee. Once you've done that, you should walk over to the starter shop on my main channel, which is a bunch of equipment that you can use. I recommend using with the honey you've got left, buying that backpack, and then buying the best tool that you can buy with the rest of your honey. Make sure to save up your honey so you can buy the next basic egg, which will be around 6,000 honey. So you just have to complete a few more quests before you can do that. Another thing that you should look out for is these tokens across the map. These tokens can be found anywhere, and I will quickly show you all the spots. As well as stickers on the map on the walls. They can spawn in like about a few per day, but they have no determined spots, they just spawn anywhere. Thing to look out for are these sparkles that sometimes spawn on the fields. What they do is they give you honey and other different rewards like royal jellies and other cool stuff. They will spawn every once in a while, they're not guaranteed, they can spawn on almost any field. Just make sure to look out for them. So bees have this thing called levels, and you can level them up by feeding them treats and other sorts of items. So when you level them up, they will do more attack damage and they will have more energy and gather more pollen. This next item I put down is a royal jelly. What it does is able to change a bee to a different bee. So you can transform a bee into a rare, epic, or legendary using a royal jelly, or mythic. Once you have enough to buy the last basic egg, you'll be able to reach the 5 bee zone. So let's put down the basic egg, basic bee, and I feel like we're gonna transform this. Now we have 5B. It's good to have different types of bees in your game because they will collect different types of pollen. For example, Fire Bee and Rad Bee will collect more red pollen because they're red bees, and Bomber Bee and Basic Bee will collect more white pollen because they are white bees. Same as Bubble Bee collecting blue pollen because it is a blue bee. So we have finally unlocked the 5B zone. So when you first walk in, there is the spider field, the strawberry field, and the bamboo field. Up here we've got the one and only 5B zone quest giver, which is Panda Bear. And his quests are different than the other quests. Instead of collecting pollen, his quest is just defeating enemies. Now I'm going to show you all the token locations for the 5B zone. So for Panda Bear's first quest, we're gonna kill one ladybug. So all we're gonna do is just go to a field of ladybug, then we will kill it. Now that the quest is complete, let's just walk back up there and hand it in. So at this stage, you want to just complete these quests, just repeat the process for the most part, because there isn't that much to do in the 5B zone. So just continue the process of completing quests and emptying your backpack and collecting honey till you've unlocked 10 bees. Also, you should max out on all the equipment on the shop, so get the best of container, which is the canister, and also get the best tool, the vacuum cleaner. Once you have bought the vacuum cleaner, make sure to put all of your honey towards the eggs so you can unlock the next area. If you want to, you can also buy these boots. It's not that big of a deal, they don't cost that much, but the boots is the only thing that you should get from the starter shop. The helmet and the belt bag aren't worth it, they're just a waste of materials. You'll get better ones once you get to the next area. Now that we have unlocked 10 bees, we now have access to the 10B zone. So the 10B zone has 2 fields and 2 shops. The 2 fields are the pineapple patch and the stump field. So on the pineapple patch there is 2 different mobs. There is a praying mantis and a rhino beetle. Now I'm gonna show you every single token location for the 10B zone. In the 10B zone, you also unlock a new quest giver. His name is Science Fair, and he will give you science-related quests, like discovering bee types and collecting and killing different types of creatures and going to all types of fields around the game. So another thing that you want to look for are these little stingers in the ground. They can spawn in almost any area, and they will spawn a vicious bee. Vicious bee is not to be confused with the vicious bee that you buy. This is a wild vicious bee, and what happens when you kill this wild vicious bee, it will reward you with stingers. So this is technically how you get your stingers to buy the vicious bee for your hive. So all you gotta do is go around and look for these little stingers in the ground, and then wild vicious bee will spawn when you step on it, and when killed it will give you a certain amount of stickers depending on what level and if it's gifted.
One of the other things in the 10B zone that you unlock is the memory map. So the memory map is just this little game where you map different pictures and whatever's on that picture is what you get. So here I just won a jelly bean from the memory map, but I didn't match the other ones, so I didn't get the royal jelly or the other things.
Upon entering the 10B zone shop, you will see the Mega Jug as the first backpack that you can buy. Depending on how much honey that you have, you should buy that. If you already have enough for the next backpack, it is fine buying that. There is no harm doing that. And the first tool that you should buy is the pulsar. The reason why you should buy the pulsar instead of the scooper that's on the left right there is because the scooper is not that great. It is technically just like the shovel, but it goes a bit quicker. And the pulsar does this right here, a little 8 pattern, which collects a lot more and is a lot more worth it than the scooper. So save your honey up for the pulsar instead of wasting it on the scooper. Okay, this next part is going to have a lot of information, so pay attention. So this is the wealth clock. What the wealth clock does is every hour from when you join the game, it will give you 1 ticket, and every time you claim it, so the second time you'll get a second ticket, you'll get 2 tickets, and the third time you get 3 tickets, then the fourth time you get 4 tickets, and the fifth time you get 5 tickets, and then from that point you'll get 5 tickets. The important thing about that is you'll also get more honey from tokens. So like the first one will be 1%, then 2%, then 3%, then 4%. Isn't that helpful at the start unless you get like a honey storm or something, which I'll explain is just like a random in-game event where honey just appears all over the fields. That's probably the most useful thing for the honey like percent from tokens, but the tickets part is probably the most important part. You get 5 tickets every hour after the first ones every time you claim it. So if you are playing the game and you're able to like continue to like stay online so you don't like lose your tickets, like, because when you leave the game, it'll reset back to 1. So if you continue to do that over and over and over again, you'll be able to get so many tickets. So you'll be able to get all the event bees really quickly and get heaps of tickets to save up for star treats and all the other important items in the game that you need tickets for. So what you want to do is once you've reached the 10B zone, you just want to continue grinding out the game, getting honey, and completing quests, so you can save up to buy new stuff. So here I'm going to buy the backpack there. So the next thing that you should save up for, if you have enough honey for it, is the parachute. It is incredibly important and incredibly useful. So if you see right here, you're able to glide almost across the map, which will help you get like those little tokens around the map and also help you travel around the map quickly. As you can see here, even though I am now gonna have 15 bees, I'm going to continue to stay in the 10B zone. The reason is for that is I'm just trying to upgrade my hive, which is important to do because obviously in the other zones, like it happens in the starter zone, every single time you upgrade to a new place, you will get higher level enemies. So it's important to make sure to upgrade your hive, not only so you can make more honey quicker, but also so you can kill enemies. Because if you don't level up your hives, you will not be able to kill the enemies because it will not actually hit. When you attack something in bee swarm, you can either hit or miss, depending on what level your bee is. So if it's not high enough level, it will just miss every time, and then you will die. Another important feature in the game is badges. So what badges are technically achievements for doing tasks, like right there the honey badge and the battle badge, and you get rewarded tickets and also a actual Roblox badge to put on your profile. Another thing that these badges are used for is something in the 15B zone, which I'll talk about a bit later, but these are important and you should try and go for them or just remember to claim claim them because they also give you in-game boosts, like for the honey badge, like for making the total amount of honey that you've made on your bee swarm entire time you've played. That will give you more honey from tokens, stuff like that. So it's important to claim them because it can make your grinding not as long, because some of those badges will give you boosts on some sorts of stuff like red flowers, white flowers, red boost, conversion, all of that stuff and above. So you may be wondering what this is. This is a sprout. It can either be spawned by a magic bean, which you can collect, the sprout spawner, or it will spawn randomly on any of the fields in the game, except for the ant challenge field. That is the only field where mostly nothing spawns, so just remember nothing spawns in the ant challenge field. So what this sprout does, it's a giant plant where you have to collect a certain amount of pollen to break it, and once you break it, you will get rewards. It will vary depending on rewards. From a common sprout, you might get some food items and some other honey and treats, but the rarer you go, the more rare items you get. So like a silver, you might get some other stuff, but there is multiple different levels. There is common, silver, gold, diamond, gummy, supreme, and mythic. There is one more I haven't said yet, but that is a Roblox item, which is the festive sprout. You have to buy a Robux, so I'm not going to include it. So these sprouts are very important, not only just for quests, but also for rewards. Because for some items in the game, you need rewards that would normally take a long time to get. But while you're doing a quest, or you just simply want that reward, you can use those sprouts. Those sprouts can also be used for getting stuff in game. Also could be used to get other important stuff or for boosts. These are probably one of the most important items in the game. So in the early game, they are not very useful. Save as many as you can, because they will be incredibly helpful in the mid to late game. So inside of the 15B zone, we have 4 fields: cactus, pumpkin, pine tree, rose. On the cactus and pumpkin, it's combined to one mob, which is the werewolf. The pine tree has 2 prey mantises, and the rose field has scorpions. There is one quest giver next to the pine tree field, which is the honeybee. There is also one boost thing, which is the sticker stack, which you put stickers into for rewards and boosts. And there is also another quest giver, which is Polar Bear. And we've got the ice shop, and we have the red HQ. The red HQ is the second HQ in the game. So this is the opposite of the blue HQ. This is the red version. So everything in this shop right here will help with red flowers. So there will be a red booster, there'll be red leaderboards, and red collectors, as well as a red quest giver at the top. But we cannot unlock them yet because we need a translator. We've also got a quest giver right there. That's the Robo Bear. But we're not going to worry about him in this episode, so we're going to leave him out of this. So in this clip, I'm going to show you how to use the sticker stack. So what happens when you use the sticker stack? So what you do is you just walk up to it and you put in any sticker in the game. So I can put any of those 3 in if I haven't already put it on the stack. So we're going to put the green check mark on there. And also each thing gives you a different reward. So that can give you 3 tickets, and the stack boost will be 10,000 capacity, and then it will go onto the stack. The more stickers you put on there, the longer it will last, but when you put 1 sticker on there, it's automatically 15 minutes, but every one after that is like 10 seconds. So it doesn't add a lot, but the more and more you put on there, the more it will last. And also, once you put a thing on the stack, it doesn't disappear. It will just keep adding. Eventually, if you have 100 different stickers on the stack, you will have 100 different boosts from all of the stickers that you put on there. Maybe wondering what is happening in this clip right now. All I'm just gonna say is what you want to do is just continue grinding the game, is what I'm gonna say. Just continue farming and grinding and trying to get to the next zone. So this is one of the things that I didn't say about the starter zone, is that there is a boss at the blue flower field. You may be wondering, where is this boss? It is behind this blue flower right here. It's called the King Beetle. The reason why I didn't speak about it at the very start is because you are not high enough level for it. No matter like what level your bees were, you wouldn't be high level enough. You need a level 7 bee or above to attack this, and it's got 3000 HP. It would take you a long time to beat the King Beetle with level 7 or above bees when you only had 4 of them, is what I'm saying. So in this fight, he just like jumps around and gets you like a normal beetle, but it does like 40 damage if you have the stuff that I'm wearing right now. The best way to do that is before he attacks, he freezes, so you just move out the way. Another thing is the rewards. So the King Beetle drop quite a few different rewards. So it can drop treats, honey, it can give you bond, magic beans, extracts, royal jellies, tickets, and in Christmas or business, you can get gingerbread. Another thing that you can also get, which is pretty important and is the best reward that you can get, is the King Beetle amulet. So technically it is one of the amulets in the game, which gives you, technically it's like a gear. It will give you capacity and some other boosts or different stuff. So pay attention to this is pretty important. This is the ice shop. You need 15 badges on the 2nd level, so like above junior, and inside of this is one of the most important things in the game, and that is the blender. The blender can be used to craft a bunch of different stuff. There's sprinklers, which are pretty important for boosts, but they're not necessary. It just makes your life so much easier. So they just like regrow the flowers faster. And then there is another memory match in here. There is a reason on why I encourage you to do your quests all the time, and this is one of them. For example, with Black Bear, every time you complete a quest you get a better reward, and I am currently doing in this clip the Quests of Legend quest, which will reward me a diamond egg. A diamond egg is incredibly useful, but I am going to tell you for the entire next minute of me explaining what the quest is and how good it is. Do not use that diamond egg ever to hatch bees. Never use it. It is just so important for crafting stuff like the diamond mask, and it can also be used for boosts and other stuff, which is way better than just putting in your hive. It is way more helpful just to save them. So if you do get one, no matter what you get it from a quest, from the Christmas event, or from buying it with Robux, just never hatch it. It will be the worst mistake, because it could, if you're trying to go for the diamond mask, it could take you months to get another one, because you only get one of them from a quest giver, no matter which one it is. You only get one. So if you are missing one because you spent it, you won't get another one unless you get it from a sprout or some other type of thing that can drop it, which is pretty low. So when you enter the 20B zone, there is actually only one field, the ant challenge. To get into this, you can go to one of the 2 dispensers inside of there, which is, there's the 3 ant pass dispenser, and then there's one you pay 10 tickets for. The 3rd dispenser is a stingers dispenser, and there is also at the very top of this little area, as you can see, there is a giant gummy bee, and at that bit is where you can actually claim the gummy bee. So what you do is you get 2,500 gumdrops, and then you can form a gummy bee. I think that's what it says in the chat, but it just gives you a gummy bee egg. And if we look at this ant challenge info here, it kind of just explains like how to get the different types of amulets, because this is the part where you can get the ant amulet, and it can also explain how to get points and how to play the game. Inside of the ant challenge zone, or the 20B zone, however you want to call it, there is the trading hub, which is an incredibly important thing for stickers, but other than that, there isn't really a use for it. So this is how you play the game. You collect honey or pollen to fill up that little ant hill that has like a certain amount, and every time you do that, it will start a new round spawning more ants, and you just got to get as many points as you can in 5 minutes. There's some different types of ants. There's the normal ant, there's the army ant, there's the winged ant, the fire ant, and the giant ant. Those are the 5 that are inside of it. So those are the types of mobs that you have to kill inside of that. There's also another thing you gotta look out for, which is a bit further along in the game. You gotta watch out for lawnmowers. They come out of those squares on the side, so they just go across the field and try and damage you. At the start, they're pretty slow, you can probably easily just walk away from them, but the more and more you go on, the more will spawn and the quicker they'll go, so you gotta keep dodging them while they're going. The Ant Amulet is one of the guaranteed rewards that you get from completing the Ant Challenge. When you do the Ant Challenge, no matter how many points you will get a Ant Amulet, because as we looked at the little tutorial thing before, even if you got 0, you would still get the bronze, because it would go 0 to 24. So you can either lose the Ant Challenge by running out of time or dying like I did. So the longer you last, the better your amulet will be. The best amulet that you can get is the Supreme Amulet, which caps at 150 points. So 150 points and onwards is the Supreme Amulet. But the better score you get, the more sparkles appear around the amulet, because the amulet emits sparkles at Supreme. The more sparkles you get, the better it is. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is what the wiki said. So there is a reason why I didn't include this in the tokens thing, but behind the cave is a golden egg, which can be used to get the honey mask. So the way to get this is you just gotta have a bunch of speed, because you will be followed by very quick immortal spiders that do 10,000 damage that guard this golden egg. And the reason why it's important to start collecting these golden eggs is because, like I mentioned before, it's able to craft the honey mask. And that's why you shouldn't spend your eggs that you get, because same as the gold egg, the diamond egg is used to craft the diamond mask. So you shouldn't really spend your eggs on your hive, because you can probably get the same sort of like legendaries or mythics or epics just from royal jellies. So another thing in the shop that you should buy is mostly everything in here, but you should buy the propeller hat at one point, but we're not going to do it right now. And we're going to buy the new hiking boots, because they will be better than the basic ones that we have. So we'll get 6+ player movement, 10+ jump power, 6+ movement collection. Movement collection is when you walk over the field and it collects the stuff, the pollen. Also in the shop we have guards. So what guards do is they sit on your shoulder and they hold capacity, and they can give you boosts, like they can give you like 1+ B attack, they can give you 10% like white pollen, and they can give you like 1.1% player movement like the hasty guard, and they can also give you other stuff, mostly towards like pollen percentages and like capacity. So if you can afford to get 2 guards, the hiking boots, and you still have more left, you should buy the belt bag, and if you have even more left, then you should save up for the propeller hat. But after you get those, you shouldn't buy more, and you should just start spending it on your hive. Speaking of spending on your hive, we are going to now look at the ticket shop. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to save up your tickets for any of these event bees, and then once you've done that, you save up for the star treats. The first bee that other people normally recommend is the tabby bee, which I also sort of recommend. But if you are like me, who are 2 bees away from the 25 bee zone, I feel like it's more worth it just spending it on those 2 bees right there, the 225, because these ones are 250, both of them, the blue and red ones, and the others are 500. So I think it's worth it just buying them too if you're like 2 away from it. And you see here, there you go, that's the crimson bee, and then we're going to spend our honey so we can get another bee. So we finally reached the last part of the video, the mountaintop field, also known as the 25 bee zone. So when you unlock 25 different types of bees, different types by the way, you unlock this red cannon, but if you've unlocked just 25, you'll just have access to 25 bee zone. So in the 25 bee zone is the mountaintop field and the top shop. In the top shop is 4 new collectors and a whole new set of equipment. So there's boots, helmets, backpack, belt bag, and a new glider, as well as the ability to buy hive slots and other stuff. So when you're in the shop, you should probably start saving up for the beekeeper's boots, which are only 15 million, and their crafting recipe isn't that high as well, only requiring 5 oils, 3 blue extract and 3 red extract. In return you get 25% bee gathering, 1+ bee attack, 6+ player movement, 20 jump power, and +10 movement collection. So what I am doing right now is I am walking up this parkour to this giant moon. This moon is the moon amulet generator. So what it does is you trade 100 moon charms to give you a moon amulet. The moon amulet gives you some capacity and boosts, and you should get this when you play. It is pretty useful and isn't really that hard to get. So it's a pretty win-win for spending those 100 moon charms, and the more that you use it, the higher the capacity and boost will be. So use it the first time, 25,000 capacity and some boosts, and then the next time you use it, it'll be 50,000 and you'll have better boosts, and it keeps going all the way up to 250,000 capacity and some really good boosts. So this is the order that you want to buy the equipment after buying the golden ring. So it should go from least least expensive to most expensive. So, but this is the way I did it. I can't find the clips because they corrupted the two, like the belt bag and the boots. I can't find those, but that should be the order that you do it. And the glider you can buy mostly whenever you want. It's only 5 mil. You can easily get that back when you have the golden rake. So you should buy this. This isn't on the clip, but this is what you should do. You should save up to buy the photon bee and the tabby bee. So make sure after you buy the crimson bee, or if you decide to go straight for the tabby bee, go either the tabby bee or then the photon bee, or go just photon and then go crimson and combat. So this is the star amulet place. So this place is where it has all the different star amulets in the game. So right here, you would need 5 gifted bees to unlock the bronze star amulet. And this applies to all of them. So the silver, you would need 10 gifted bees to unlock that silver star amulet. Then you would need 15 for the next one, then 20, then 30, then 40. They are pretty important. The bronze one, the silver one, the gold one are not as important. The diamond one is pretty useful, but the most important one is the supreme star amulet. Probably the most important amulet in the game. So the supreme star amulet is what can give you passives, which will be used later in the game. So the way to do those is you just gotta have a different type of gifted bee discovered, I'm pretty sure, in your heart at the time. So you just gotta discover different types of gifted bees and then you can unlock them. So that is the end of the tutorial. I hope you were able to get some useful information out of this, because I strive to get to the point and actually get down to how to actually do it and how to do it in the most efficient way possible and how to do it properly. Because the reason why I made this is because most videos I see on YouTube, when I try and follow a tutorial, either they take too long to get to the point, they are just incorrect. Some are pretty good but are limited to some factors like language barriers or just lack of knowledge in that type of thing that you're trying to learn. So like some of the tutorials expect you to have experience in that, which I do understand sometimes. So I'm gonna make more of these, so if you guys want, I will make a mid-game one, which will be the next episode of this game. I expect to make 4 of these, including this one. So there will be, this one is early game to mid game, next one will be mid game to late game, then third one will be late game to end game, and then the final one will be end game to the leaderboard. And what I mean by the leaderboard is like the top 100 like in the world, which I can do, but it will be a bit tough because, like I said, it took me 6 months to make this. Not really because it took me that long to record, I just procrastinate too much. And I don't really get that much time to make videos. So if people want to see the next one, or they want to see any other game, that will motivate me to make them faster, and I will gladly do it. Any game on Roblox for this one, or like any game is mostly just any game outside of Roblox, like Fortnite, GTA, any of those types, anything goes. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you learned something from it.